I always wondered. I mean, we're in this frenzy of renaming cities and towns in India now, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, what? I mean, folks are doing it at the administrative level. Are we getting enough, buy-in from the stakeholder? Did we even, first of all, narrow down the stakeholders? Did we understand, all the soft impacts of this stuff? Of course, forget all the other hard impacts. I was doing a podcast with Kalpana Sharma, who's an independent journalist from Mumbai.
Well, yeah.
Oh, do you do? Okay. And I was demonstrating to her, I wrote this quick AI program to kind of go out and give me a sense of how much, money wise this costs a city. And it came up with some very conservative number, like 172 crores was the, cost to the taxpayer, because you had to go change the names in the boards. I don't even think 172 times 10 would be kind of appropriate to me,
But I mean, it's like, would Johnny Walker whiskey change its name after building a brand for 2 generations? No, right? I mean, I think cities are also
Yeah.
brands. I mean, Bombay meant something, and
Right.
it resonated internationally. It resonated with a culture. It resonated a history. And so I think the cost that doesn't get calculated is, I mean, I'm not a business type guy, but I think here the only word I can find is branding, and branding has
Yeah.
value because branding has recognition, it has reliability, it has a whole lot of stuff that goes with it.
Right.
And those costs don't come. I mean, AI would be more objective and talk about, the cost of signboards and street boards and what's very interesting is airlines, when you get your baggage tag, it yet is BOM, it yet
Mhm.
is PEK for Peking, instead of Beijing. It's funny, airlines, so I don't know why they haven't changed the abbreviations. It's interesting.
It is interesting. It's just 3 alphabets. Why not change that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So is it some complex program that recognizes it? I don't know. But it always strikes me when I land in Bombay and I see BOM,
Yeah.
FRK for whatever, FNT, Frankfurt or whatever it is, and then BOM. And when I went to China, the same thing. I said, PK, why? Why not BJ? And they haven't.
Yeah, like you talk about the brand, I never thought about that. I mean, it's like, duh, like that's a fascinating concept. Like, when you have like brands of perfume, New York, Los Angeles and London and Paris, like those are the names kind of printed out on these.
Bombay Gin.
Right, right. And they hold so much value, right? Like that kind of, like, talk about brand value. Like when I look at, you're associated with like New York, maybe you were born in New York, maybe that's one of your hubs or whatever it is. I mean, you look at Apple, they're like made in California, right? Like that's the branding they do, because California is known sort of for
But
that sort of
Rajiv, that would happen to you and me if we changed our names, right? Some people do in life change their names, and it's completely, it must be psychologically damning.
I would imagine so,
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean, it's intuitively obvious to me. Like somebody said Bengaluru to me. I was in India last year, and she was this person I was talking to describing, oh, I'm going to go back to Bengaluru, blah blah blah, and I just kind of like pulled back for a second. It's like, oh, really? That's kind of become normalized now. Bangalore used to be that kind of a brand. It held some kind of a meaning to all of us, intrinsically. And then here we are, Bengaluru, and it's like, if you look at the origin of that word, the etymology, like it's just something silly, Bendakaluru, which is like baked bean, the city of baked beans.
Yeah. Crazy. Even Mumbai, there was no, I mean, so Bombay in Hindi, in many local languages, as you know, in Bollywood, they said from Bombaya, Bombay.
Right.
So instead of saying Bombay, they said Bombay. I mean, that was the way it just translated naturally.
Right.
And that distortion they made into Mumbai. Now, there's a small temple of Mumbai Devi. Now, that Mumbai also must have come from Bombay Devi, must have been Bombay Devi.